everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be talking about getting started late in life. Okay, so it was recently Kara's birthday. Kara just celebrated her birthday on the 26th, on Sunday. I think it was Sunday. And so you're 44 now. I was watching a video of a YouTuber. She got started late in her life. Now, we have actually gotten questions about this before, getting started late in your life, because we kind of have, and you guys again know a lot of our story, our recent, more recent story of why we're in this position we're in. So, so a lot of her subscribers were feeling, not a lot, but some of them were feeling a little bit bad because they're around her same age, 50s, and they haven't started or completed really anything in their life. They're feeling weird that they don't know their passion yet. And so it was relatable, I think, to me, because I thought that my passion originally was always going to be makeup artistry. Like, that was what I was wanting to do. You guys know I moved to New York to do that, and I did it, and but it ended up not being what I wanted to do. Right. And so not totally because of that, but when you're passionless, you go all these years in life and you don't, I was having to play catch up, you know what I mean? And then by the time I knew it, I woke up, I'm in my late 30s, still without passion. All right. And then this thing happened, the YouTube thing happened. And while it's still slow moving, I do feel very passionate about it. So I feel like it's okay to not have I think this is one thing that people feel so weird when you're at a certain age and you haven't found your thing yet. Right. And everyone around you has. They've gone to college at a younger age, or, they just kind of know what they want to do in life, and you don't. And then you feel weird about that. So I get that, because I was there, and in many senses of the words, I'm just getting started with something at the age of 42. I'll be 43 in a couple months.
I don't think I've ever felt, my biggest thing, the one thing I've always wanted to be since I was younger was a wife and a mother. That was it. That's all I ever wanted to really, really be. Like, to be married and have children and have a family. And I felt like I could really do that at any age. The problem was I had problems with men. And so because of that, it delayed me having children and being married, because I honestly just didn't trust men. Yeah. You know what I mean? But with career-wise, I feel like I've always tried to do things I like. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when I wanted to be a makeup artist, I moved to New York and I tried to do it, but I didn't like it. You know what I mean? And you can change your mind. Many people have careers where they went to school with it, and then when they hit 40, they don't want to do that career anymore, and they change their mind and they do something else. So I don't feel like with career-wise, if we're talking about money, everybody wants to be set up at a certain point in their life, because as we're getting older, we're supposed to be near retirement, and we all want to be comfortable as we're getting older. So you have to start at a certain time. I guess, a lot of people feel that way. But for me, I know that that things happen for a reason, and you find yourself in situations. Everybody doesn't become successful at the same time. I remember when Aaliyah died. That girl died very young, but there was an interview that she did the year before she died, where she said that if I died tomorrow, I've lived the best life I ever lived. And a lot of people get their passion when they're at 17.
She accomplished a lot.
But she found it at 18. She found it at 15 and 16. That doesn't happen for everybody. Right. You know what I mean? Some people find it right out of college. Some people find it when they're in their 30s. Some people find it when they've done one career and then they realize they don't really like that career that much. Right. And they find it somewhere else. So I don't really think that you should feel bad. Yeah. Because a lot of people just simply don't know what they want to do. Right. That's hard. That in itself is harder, I think, than doing the job. Following your passion is a lot harder. Following your passion is a lot easier than not even knowing what it is. Right. So if you're in a position where you have absolutely no idea what it is you want to do, to me, that's a harder feat. Yeah. Than when you find your passion and you're trying to go forward, which is still hard, but at least you know where you're going.
And I think it's what it is that a lot of people feel like, well, man, I should already had it together. And I just missed out. But I think if you live in the past, like, your life happened, right? This happened. So it's like you kind of have to move forward from there. But you're not a big loser just because you woke up one day and you're 50 and you're like, oh man, I should have, like, I am so far behind from my friends and my family members or whatever. You really shouldn't, it's hard at the time, but you really shouldn't feel that way because, again, like, everyone starts things that there's a reason why your journey had to wait a little bit. You know what I mean? There's a reason for that. I feel like I was, I don't say passionless. I guess passionless. Cause I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Outside of wanting to, and see the kids, like I said, like I've always wanted to just be a mother and a wife and that whole family thing, raising a family. But I was so like fixated on like just career because I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Because everyone else was doing that I didn't even think about even having having a family. Like I'm waited such a long time, and now here I am I'm 42 and still don't have that. But it doesn't mean that there's a reason for that. There's a reason why my journey had to start later. Like people go, there's some things you are too old for. I guess like some physical things I'm assuming that you're too old for. But really, it's okay to figure out your passion. Like it's okay to figure out it later in life. It doesn't mean that just because you hit a certain age that it's over. Some people are just afraid to even dive into it, into whatever they want to do. They don't want to tell anybody what they want to do. Even like this thing, like I've always wanted like a within the past few years, like I've always wanted some type of more of like a podcast type thing where I'm kind of behind the scene and have like a microphone and then that way. So being in front of the camera wasn't something that I was ever thinking I was going to do, especially Kara. You know what I mean? Like I never thought this would be something I would want to do like passionately, but I always wanted to do it. But I never wanted to say that I wanted to do that.
I never wanted to do this. I never wanted to be a person in front of a camera talking about my life at all. I'm a very private person, so to me, doing this would never been anything. That's why I like being a makeup artist, because I would have been behind the scenes. Yeah, you know what I mean. When I wanted to own my cupcake business, I liked it because I did, because I could do everything in the comforts of my own privacy. You know what I mean. But being on camera and being in front of people and talking, first of all, it's hard. It's hard if you're not someone who is an extroverted person that likes to be around people all the time. And then two, just I was camera shy. Yeah. I really I don't like to be judged. And that is, that's something that's hard for me. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things that happens when you I think that when you're trying to find your like passion, you have to kind of go in and see what it is you do well naturally. And I am a natural talker. And I am someone that when I'm around people, they ask me for my advice. They ask me for my advice about lots of things. No matter where I work, no matter where I go, I'm one of those people that people like to talk to. Maybe because I don't talk a lot. Yeah, people feel comfortable coming to tell me things. And because me and you talk, I always have an opinion on almost anything, any conversation. And I like conversation. I even like other podcasts like Joe Rogan. And just because I like to hear other people talk about real things. Right. That's just my passion. But I didn't think it was anything I was really ever going to do. It's just something I like to do. Sometimes the diamond in the rough are the things we really don't think are like worthy. Yeah. Like I didn't realize my talking would be something that could actually generate business. Right. Yeah. I didn't really think that. I just thought it was just something I do all the time. Right. You know what I mean? I always thought you had to go to college or have a skill, or you have to be a singer, or you have to be, if you're a hip hop artist, you have to be a rapper, an actor. If you're an engineer, you have to go to school, you'd be a doctor, you have to be good at certain things. And I never saw myself as any of those things. Yeah. So I never thought just talking. Right. But I guess Howard Stern does it. Yeah. I never even thought, but that's the thing, is like when you get to a point when you realize you can be Howard Stern. Yeah. I never thought I could ever, I could have the guts to do something like that. My thing was always that I always wanted to do, if I was going to do something like this, it was always going to be with Kara. So, and Kara this was not her thing. She was very camera shy. So it's not her thing. And I'm not necessarily this big camera person, but I'm okay with it. Like I can get past it. Like I'm okay with it. But I'm like, man, I really would like to do a show, but like I don't want to, like one of those things where when you start to speak stuff out loud, then it starts to happen. You know what I mean? Because I spoke that out loud, and then Kara wanted to do it. I was like, oh, I gotta kind of like, I gotta do it now. I gotta have to do it now. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like
whatever you want to do in your life, it really is probably something you're already doing. You just don't know that can be something for you yet. So I know people,
or it's so easy that you think that you think it's too easy.
It's too easy.
You think that because you didn't have any training in it, then because like I'm saying, if I didn't go to school, to local, like anchors do, they go to school for that.
Radio.
Like when you watch the news, those people go to school and learn how to sit and talk and sit in angles.
I didn't have any. I didn't go to college. I didn't have any communication, classes or anything like that. It was just.
I mean, Paula Deen once said that she didn't, because I read her book, that she once said that I didn't know that I could cook and really make money because I wasn't a chef. I didn't go to culinary school. And to go on TV and to have an actual TV show with people like Emeril Lagasse, who actually went to culinary school, and people did come down on her, saying that she's not a real cook and everything, although she was making money at it. So I think like whenever I wanted to know what my purpose was, I remember I was watching an interview with Michael Beckwith, and he was saying that if you ever want to know what your purpose is, sit in silence and ask the universe. Just simply ask the universe, what is my purpose? What am I doing? And about a week later, don't think it's going to happen in a day. Sometimes it might, but about a week later, Danielle then again asked me again.
Yeah, because I wanted to do this before.
Doing a podcast on YouTube. And I thought, why am I not? Right. And then I had to ask myself why I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? And then that's when you start asking yourself, are there reasons why I'm not moving forward because I'm afraid of something? Yeah. And I was afraid. I was afraid of being judged. I was afraid of being in front of cameras. I was afraid that I don't know, everything. You know what I mean? It's hard being vulnerable out here because you guys, when you guys comment, you can comment anything. Yeah. You can say whatever you want. You know what I mean? And we have to take it. Yeah. Because we put ourselves out there. And that's another part of the reason why people don't succeed is because they're afraid to put themselves out there.
Yeah. And the judgment of people is going to be.
It's a lot of things to sit there and talk about stuff all the time. Talking and talking and talking. But if you never put action to it, then really you really are setting yourself back because time goes. It keeps going no matter how much we don't want to keep going.
And our show is a very opinionated show. So I would say that the majority of people that watch us, again, we're a smaller channel, are very positive people, and they have either they agree or disagree, but they're pretty positive people. But putting yourself out there, you do get judgment. So some comments y'all never will see because it don't make it to the comment section. So some people's gets in the held for review section, and I have to look at that. But yeah, you do get judged, you know what I mean? And a lot of times just outside of like the YouTube world, anything that you want to do that you're not doing because you're scared to do it. Like if you are a writer and you want to be a writer, like you need to start writing, right? Even if it's privately, just start writing. And, that comes naturally to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So whatever it is, I feel like just do it, and I think what was going to happen here, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because we've been asked before about what made us want to do this, right? And it's I don't really know. I mean, I guess the simple answer is that we always talk. We are always walking through life together. To me, I feel like our story is very interesting, particularly this most recent situation, how we got to this point, and people found that interesting. And I thought, well, I guess that is kind of, there was kind of something. And also it's a little bit therapeutic, so originally it's kind of one of those things where it's therapeutic. It's a passion at this point. It's the passion now. And also just the idea of putting something out there about your life that's intensely private, right? But knowing that it could probably help somebody look at their life and go, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one. Yeah. Because the hardest thing is when you're going through something and you feel like you're the only one. So I thought that maybe if we put this stuff out here, people won't feel like they're the only one, going through something rough or weird or awkward, you know what I mean? And so because it's awkward, sometimes that maybe it's easier. So I feel like now it's just more of a passion. Now I just kind of just love it. It's very easy for us, you know what I mean? And it's, rewarding, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I like to hear the opinions of other people and not necessarily always in like a really professional clinical sense. Like I like to just have like a flowy conversation whether you agree or disagree. So it just kind of became passion, but we didn't get this until in our 40s. And this is the part that I feel like what I've experienced, what I'm learning right now, even though this is not We want our channel obviously to grow and get bigger, and we know that it will. But I remember wanting to wait until perfect conditions, and this is what I think that people do with their passions. They suppress it. They put it in the back of their head. They go to their 9 to 5. Not saying don't quit your 9 to 5. You obviously have a job too, but when you don't feed something that you love doing, you start to feel like you are just kind of walking through life. Yeah. And you don't really there's no real anything. You're just living a longer life, but you're not living a quality of life. And that's the one thing I never ever want. Like, I'm always like totally against that. Just living a long life and not living a quality of life. That's the most important thing to me. That was the only thing I've ever, like, back when I had fear of what am I going to do? Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm in my 30s now. I'm unmarried. I don't have kids, and I don't have a job. I don't have a career. It's like, there has to be some type of something that makes you happy. And I think this kind of is natural, but it makes me happy to kind of put that out there.
I think people also think that because a lot of people, if you know what you want to do but you're not doing it, I think a lot of it is because you fear failure. Yeah, you know what I mean. You fear because in every business there's always a giant. Yeah, and that giant's there for a reason. You know what I mean. Like you want the Beyoncés and Oprahs of the world because they really set a bar, and a lot of people fear they'll never get to that bar, so they don't because they fear looking stupid in front of people that they know. Right. And then because you always think that people are judging you. Right. People are judging you. And that might happen. You know what I mean? And as long as you, if you feel that way, then you'll get older not ever doing what you want to do and being more mad at yourself. Yeah. For me, I always feel like the biggest, I don't want regrets in my later years. You know what I mean? I do believe that as you get older, because like Daniel said, I just had a birthday, and as you are getting older, I think it's the things you don't do that make you feel like you wasted your life. Yeah. We don't have a lot. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you live to live 100 years, that's still not a long time. Yeah, it really isn't. And while you're here and while you have the privilege of breathing air, you might as well do something. Yeah, while you're here and make a difference in the world in your own way. Right. Right. But people feel so afraid of, like, right now, me and Dan have 147 subscribers, and there are people on YouTube that have millions. You know what I mean? And I hope to get there. You know what I mean? That's the goal. But you don't get there by caring too much about,
you pay your dues
by caring too much about what other people are doing or what it looks like in the moment. You have to keep going, and a lot of people really don't have that. A lot of people don't have the they don't have the fight in them to keep going if it doesn't look good on the outside.
So I would say before this, I didn't have the courage to just say, hey, I want to do a podcast or a YouTube video. I don't have the courage to do that, you know what I mean? Because I was always behind the scenes type person. Again, like you said, we were makeup artists. We always make things look good. We worked in retail. We always make behind the scenes, making things look good. But we never kind of put ourselves out there in that way. Yeah. But it is I don't know. I think, like, it's a good point. It's like if you don't put yourself, if you're afraid of what people are going to think of you, then that is the end of everything. That's the end. That's the end, because now you're only thinking about how you're coming off to people. So I know people who, and I understand this in some aspect because it is kind of scary, but I know people who start and stop. And a lot of times the stop is because of fear, or wanting to be liked, and or if you're in the social media world, you're wanting likes and hearts and subscribers, and you're all caught up on the numbers of it all. And when you don't get that immediately in this fast-paced world, you give up very quickly. And I just feel like with us doing this, like, I appreciate every last subscriber. You know what I mean? Even if it's 147, which to me is a big number for us, because we don't even know 147 people. So, it's a big number to me. But, it's a journey. It's a journey. But you just found it later in life. Yeah. It's a reason for that, though.
I believe there's a Bible quote. Now I'm going to butcher this because I don't know the Bible like that. But there's a Bible quote where it says, and I think it says, you must have vision. He said, where there is no vision, the people will perish. Yeah. And which means that if you are someone who lives in, let's just say you live in poverty, if you never have a vision beyond where you live, you will perish in poverty. That's what it is. So if you work for someone, which is something I do, you know, I've done my whole life and been angry with it and then understood it. But if you work for someone, understand that the people you work for deserve the money they have because they took the lead. This is what it means to be a CEO. This is what it means, because those people weren't always sitting on their you know, sitting high on the hog. A lot of them were doing exactly what me and Danielle are doing right now from a hotel room. You know what I mean? You have to do something that's going to push you forward. And if you're going to sit back and be mad at people because they have money or because they're wealthy or, you know, or because they're successful, then you're really pulling yourself back, because energetically what you're saying is, I don't have it in me. Therefore, that's lower vibrating. And that means that's where you'll really be. People who are high vibrating believe beyond what they can see. They have vision that's in the inside. And no matter what it looks like, they just keep going and they keep going. You don't get to Jay-Z and Beyonce's status. I mean, they're not my favorite people, but let's just say you don't get to their status without having some sort of vision. Oprah, you don't get to her place without having some sort of vision. You know what I mean? You have to see beyond where you are. And a lot of people, the majority of people, you know, the majority, even Donald Trump, no matter how much you dislike him, he sees beyond where he always is. You know what I mean? And in order to be in that circle, and in order to be in personal achievement, you have to be able to see beyond where you've come from. If you come from the hood, if you come from poverty, you have to see beyond that.
And a lot of people can't. You know what I mean?
And that's very hard.
They can't see it. And I'm like, no, the next step's coming. Don't ignore the things that you're good at. Even if it looks like it's not a career or not a job or not a thing, it is. I'm telling you, whatever you're good at is probably going to be the thing that you should be putting out there. You know, and I know the one thing, even like with us, like I really hesitated on even putting any videos out for, and this is a stupid reason, but it is a reason. Because of the way that YouTube looks right now, right? Everyone has professional cameras. They have professional lighting. You know, thank God we know how to do makeup. You know, but they have professional stuff, just regular people. You know, and
but by the way, that's another thing. I was a makeup artist, and so was Danielle, and that could have prepared you. So you don't know what it is that you're doing right now. That could, because you know, look, I can afford a makeup artist, but I was one. So I take that skill that I didn't want to do, and now I do it on myself, because I did really only like doing my own makeup. That's why I wanted to be a makeup artist, but I realized I didn't like doing makeup for other people.
But it made me realize
it helped me in this situation, because now I can do my face. And
feel like professional
in
some way. But I was gonna wait. I was actually going to wait even to tell you until we got a perfect camera, a perfect lighting, a perfect, not living in our little, you know, you guys, I will put the video above so you guys want to hear our whole story. But you know we live where we work, so we live in a hotel room. We have our little hotel room, and I was like, well, I'm gonna, you know, wait for perfect conditions when I have a better place to live and a better background, and I'm gonna get a fancy backdrop. And I'm like, why are you waiting for everything to be perfect? Then you're like, you know, like it's not. You have a device that records. Okay. At the time when we first started, we didn't even have a light ring. It's just like a freaking natural light, you know. But I'm like, you have a thing to record. You have a camera that records, and you have something to say. Turn on the camera and say what you got to say. You know what I mean? So you have what you need, you know, and so, you know, even this whole, the climate of YouTube where everything looks so beautiful and extra crisp, and, you know, cameras coming soon, all that stuff is going to happen. You know, all stuff's going to happen, but nothing's going to happen if you just stall. And I think that's what was happening, is that I was just stalling and just not saying, this is what I want to do in my life. You know what I mean?
I mean, you have to me, you know, I always have believed that where energy flows, power goes. You know what I mean? And no matter what you think about the most is what you attract. I totally believe in that. You know what I mean? That what we focus on most expands.
But don't you feel like, okay, so also like, sometimes people think, oh, you know, you can think thoughts and then it's going to happen. You think really hard, it's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, thoughts are literally power, you know, but it's that action too. So you can't have one or the other. It's got to be a combination of both. So I feel like if you're not aligned with what you want to do.
There's thoughts, There's your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. They all have to be aligned. You can't have not one of them. So you can take a whole lot of action, but if your feelings don't back up your thoughts, then you're not going to get there. That's why you see a lot of people doing the same thing over and over again, and they never get to the promised land. You know what I mean? Or then you can see people who's there and think all day and never do anything, and they think that something's going to happen, and it's going to. But no, that was me years ago. You know, I feel like wherever you're going in life, you have to wherever you want to be, you have to actively be doing it. But not only in the physical, you have to be doing it in your mind, and you have to really feel that this is going to happen for you to do it. You can't and the reason why you have to feel that way is because there will be people that won't support you. There are going to be a lot more no's than there are going to be yeses. It's going to go slow. Danielle and I have been doing this show for almost a year now coming up, and we still don't have 200 subscribers. See what I'm saying? But I still believe in it, so I'm still going to go forward and keep pushing out the videos, because I know what I know what I've been told in my own heart. And keep also going. And you know that through the passion that you're having. You know what I mean? So I always feel like you only have the now anyway. The past is gone. So if you're still living in the past, you never get there anyway. But you only have the now, and tomorrow never comes. So, and even if that so-called tomorrow does come, it will still be now. Right. That's all you have is what you're doing now. You know what I mean? So if you are still thinking about yourself being too old, well, if you don't do it now, you'll be older in 3 years. You're not getting younger. The older you get, the more true that feels. And the more you feel that, that's where your energy's going. It's too late. You will tell yourself and you will believe it's just too late. And then people can tell you anything and you believe it. There aren't too many things people can tell me that I'm going to believe. No. I'm headstrong, and I'm one of those people that I'm pretty bullheaded. I'm very stubborn, and stubbornness it gets in my way sometimes. But on a lot of levels, stubbornness helps me because it helps me to push forward, and it helps me to push forward. You know, even when bullshit starts coming my way. You know what I mean? And that's a positive for me. You know what I mean? But if I never do it, and I never keep going, you know what I mean? Then who's this? You know, then I will be 50 years old, angry at people who are actively doing work.
Because there's nothing like that. There's nothing. One of the worst feelings in the world is finding something that you love doing and then doing it and then it falls through. So that's kind of like what makeup was for me. Is that I loved doing makeup. That's the one thing I always wanted to do. I always wanted to do that, and I always wanted to move to some big city. Move to one of the biggest ones in the world, New York, right? And tried it out there, and I just realized that, man, I try to make it my passion, but I realized you don't try to make a passion a passion. A passion is just a passion. You do it, and I was like, man, I don't like doing this, and then I found myself in a position of what am I going to do now?
But but I think but you did it. You know what I'm saying? So you'll never ever.
No, I don't regret that.
So it's like, we went to New York when I think I was 26, Daniel was 25, and we stayed for like 10 years. You know what I mean? And so the thing is that even though what we went there to do didn't pan out, we never have to say that we never just stayed in Indianapolis and never did it. Because then you'll be like, I wonder if that would have happened. What would happen? You know what I mean? Same with me having children. I'm still going to try to have children. And if I say I'm not going to have them and then I just don't do it, I always think, well, what if when I was 44, I wonder, could I have had one? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So you only get now. Today, tomorrow never happens. Don't wait for tomorrow. But if you have a passion today, that's when you're supposed to do. I don't care what kind of camera you have. I don't care what kind of, if you want to be a cake baker and you don't have a lot of machines and stuff. I don't care what it is. If you
make clothes, if you're a designer, you got a bus form in your house and you're sewing and whatever, just do it. Do it.
Earl Nightingale says, a man is what he thinks about all day long. So if whatever you're thinking about all like I was gonna say, if you're unhappy with your life, think about what it is you do think about all day long. You know what I mean? Do you go to work and give someone 8 hours of your life? Because I still have to go to work and clean rooms, and then I have to clean it up on my days off. And sometimes when I'm working, I stop that and come here in front of here and give you guys content. You know what I mean? We still have to do that. You know what I mean? And so it's gonna mean, and I don't get paid for this. So but if I can give my boss 8 hours of my blood, sweat, and tears, I give myself the same amount.
That's kind of the conclusion you come to, is like, I'm putting so much effort into somebody else's dream.
Right.
Right, because that's what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing.
I'm not, and I know that's what I'm doing. I'm putting somebody. So why don't you put that more actually effort into your own dream and things that you really want to do, and just stop hiding. Like, stop hiding. If there's something you want to do, man, I'm telling you, just go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Even if you feel like you're gonna look stupid. Yeah. Because look, there's a lot of the reason why I didn't even do this, and why I kept all of this private in my head of wanting to do something like this, was because I was feeling stupid. Right. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to go and get on this camera, and ain't nobody going to watch, and I'm going to be sitting, I was a naysayer. I was like, really, like, not believing in myself. Put it that way. I was not believing in myself and my own thing. And I'm like, it's kind of like, okay, Danielle, this is something you do anyways. Like, what is the big deal? Like, why is this a problem now? Why is this a problem now? So it's kind of have to put yourself out there. Well, I don't know if I would have come to that conclusion years ago, but there is something, like I said in the beginning, like, it was always something I want to do with Kara. So in some aspect, I did have to kind of be patient. Yeah. I had to practice some type of patience, because I knew Kara was not going to be on board immediately, although I brought this to her a while back, and then she came on board, and things happen in life too. Like, everything has to kind of line up. You know what I mean? It has to kind of line up. So if you had actually done this with me a long time ago, you wouldn't have been coming on camera. It would have showed. No one would have cared. It would have been done, right? And then I would have been uncomfortable because you weren't, So everything had to happen when it happened, right? So I don't know. Just don't not do something you want to do just because you kind of feel stupid doing it, or because people are telling you that this is dumb.
Yeah, I'm telling you, your mental strength is really important. One thing that always works for me, especially when things go slow and they're not going as fast as I want them to go, or, I always say, visualize the end first. Yeah. Visualize the end. Like, how did you see your life? Where do you live? How much money are you trying to make? How do you want your business to go? Who do you want to marry? Like, look at your life look at the end results. Like, have a visualize, have an end result, do a vision board, do things like that, because I always believe that God is not something that's out in the sky. It's something that lives inside of me. It's something that lives inside an entity that lives inside all of us. And so I believe that feeling is, where we vibrate higher. And the only way that you're ever going to get to where you want to go is if you stay on that energy level. Because if you don't stay on that energy level, everything that's in the natural, like your friends, your family, people that don't know you, you're going to care more about that than you're going to care about your goal and your focus. Your focus always has that's why I always say you have to have a vision board. You have to write stuff down. You have to daily, do a visualizing of what it is you want to do, because that's what's going to carry you through. You're never going to be able to stay afloat if you only care about what you see with your natural eyes. Yeah, because that can be very discouraging. We have a third eye. Once we close our eyes, we open up our third eye, and our third eye is where we get to literally live the life we want. What you think about, you are going to be about. But if you keep thinking, it's taking too long, and now people are making fun of me, people are not going to like it. You're going to be with those people unhappy. I just want to have fun in my life. Now, see, that's a whole nother part of it, is that fun. Like, fun is like the one thing that is one of those things where in life that I've always kind of wanted a combination of things, and fun is always a part of that. Right. Like, I just want my life to be really fun, and it is. Like, I'm having a fun life. You know what I mean? It's different. It's definitely a different type of life. I didn't think this was going to happen, in our circumstance, but it happened, and it's a character building. I'll tell you that it has some great stories. So it wasn't for nothing. But the one thing I can say is that whatever you want to do, don't forget to have fun. That's the one part that I think people they're so serious. And so it's like, yes, be serious, take your craft seriously, but you gotta have fun. And most of what we do here, we're just having fun. Most of the time, we're just having fun. So anyways, we're gonna get out of here, you guys, but don't feel like you are too old or that your time has passed. Yeah, you're only too old if you're dead.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
You're done.
If you're dead, it's too late.
Then you're just, thank you guys for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the bell so you get all of our notifications. If you like, go to our Instagram and our Facebook pages as well, and follow us on there. And
share our videos. Share if you want to, if you feel encouraged by any of our videos, share them, or just give us ideas. Email us.
Yeah,
any
what
ideas,
you guys,
or even in the comment.
Right.
You can leave comment.
Thank you guys so much for doing this. Y'all be leaving some comments with ideas and some emails, and we really appreciate it because we can have stuff on our
because we like to look at lots of comments. Like, this is an interesting topic.
Yeah.
This one,
sometimes your guys' comments was a topic, and you don't even realize it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you later on this week.